Wilson, wait. Charles, Wilson, wait. Charles, Wilson, wait. So you challenge Charlotte to a match?
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Talkamania!
It's Rusev Day. Finish with you! That, my friend, is gonna leave a mark. I love black eyes. Where are you, Dango?
All before you were wearing a training bra.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting, exhilarating episode of Talkamania. I'm your host, Desmino, with my tag team partner, J-Bomb. Say hello, J-Bomb.
Hey, Des, how's it going, man?
Not too bad, not too bad. Spring is in the air. Wrestling is live and rampant. We've got lots of events coming up, lots of action.
Lots of action coming up, not a lots of action that's happened in the last week. And yeah, like you mentioned, man, it's spring. And as Montrealers, spring is extremely important.
It is, and sometimes it comes late, sometimes it comes early. It came late this year.
Came late.
It lasted.
Yeah, it's only a bad thing when spring comes late, but... Anyways, what's new with you, my friend?
Same old. Watching the playoffs. Being a Canadian, I think it'd be a disservice if I wasn't watching the playoffs. And we were just talking earlier, Boston-Toronto series. Going to Game 7. A pretty nerve-wracking match for you.
Yeah, you had to bring that up, like, now, right at the beginning of the podcast, where...
Why not?
I had all my thoughts in order. And we're what, like under an hour away from potentially losing to the Toronto Maple Leafs in Game 7.
I told you it was going to happen. They're going to upset Boston.
Well, the only thing worse than Boston being eliminated from the playoffs is the fact that on Twitter we are shadow banned. And we just figured this out today. So I don't know if you guys have noticed that we've been extremely quiet. We haven't been. It's just our tweets aren't reaching anybody. Yeah, I thought everybody hated us. I was getting pretty down. I know... Des, you mentioned being in the shower and feeling down about just what happened.
It sounds creepy and sad. I'm standing in the shower,
it is
rain
creepy.
Coming down on my head. I'm like, oh. I was thinking about because I periscoped that for Smackdown last night and just wasn't as active, didn't get as much people involved. It just wasn't as much reach. And this morning I was kind of like, man, that was really successful before. What happened? What's going on? Where's my reach?
I felt the same way.
My reach.
I felt the same way. And the timing couldn't be worse because, like you said, we got Greatest Royal Rumble coming up, Raw in Montreal on Monday, and then we have Backlash the following Sunday. And hopefully it doesn't last long. Apparently it's only 48 hours, so bear with us.
It's like a common cold, I guess.
Yeah, common cold, or like a flu?
A flu would be 4 and 48 hours.
Gonorrhea, how long does gonorrhea last? You would know, right?
That's kind of mean.
Have you had gonorrhea, or is it hep? Which one do you have?
This is not nice. I'm going to go into the shower again.
Oh, dirty. But yeah, no, the timing is not good for other reasons as well. We have a merch giveaway. We're giving away a T-shirt, and we posted it all over social media today, and we got no replies, and I was like, man, people fucking
That's
hate
what
us.
led us on to think about to investigate what was going on.
Well, that's it. I mean, our merch is so freaking hot that there would be no point of people not liking it. So we looked into it. We are officially shadow banned, and this is something we will work on, and it won't happen.
I didn't even know
again.
shadow ban was a thing until you told me about it. I was like, oh, that makes so much sense now. What is this?
Anyways, algorithms on Twitter. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. We have the Greatest Royal Rumble coming up. WrestleMania just passed. It was a year that we were talking about it, me and you. Not only me and you, but everybody on freaking social media, that WrestleMania was going to be the turning point with the picture with the Universal title. We were going to finally see Brock Lesnar drop it. We were going to see Roman Reigns take it. As much as we didn't want to see Roman Reigns have it, it's still better than Brock Lesnar because he'll be on the show every week. My question for you, and I mean, a lot of people are talking about this, and I guess we're going to jump on the bandwagon, but is there a way, with what happened at WrestleMania, that the WWE can get Roman Reigns over? Because at this point, do you think he's going to win at the Greatest Royal Rumble? Is that how they're going to do it? Or do you think there's another way that they're going to do it?
I think he's going to have to win at the Greatest Royal Rumble. I think they're saving it maybe for Saudi Arabia to give them a big moment. And I'll admit it was very strange and it's left me thinking now what their plans are for him based on the fact that he shoved this whole Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns WrestleMania match for the whole entire year down our throats. And in the end, they made a decision to keep it with Brock Lesnar last minute, it seemed. And it's confusing. But I actually was saying earlier to you that I actually like this. I like that I don't know what's going on, that I can't predict it, that they're kind of going off the tracks. I hope to do a little bit more of this.
That's exciting. But, like, Brock beat the shit out of him. Like, Roman looks extremely weak right now. And then Joe comes out on Raw, 2 weeks in a row, and just destroys Roman Reigns?
Him.
So, like, what's the plan here? Because if Roman wins in Saudi Arabia, yeah, he might get cheered there, but fuck, he's going to get booed as soon as he walks back into the States.
I don't know. I'm interested to see the crowd reaction for him, but it's going to be interesting. I think this is kind of a pivotal point with Roman Reigns to kind of to see what they're going to do and what they need to do with him. You know, I've been, someone who said for a long time, it's like, I know people don't think that a theme music would make that big of a difference, but I would really like to see him switch up his theme. You see Seth Rollins coming out with the Burn It Down. Dean Ambrose even has that, little intro that or whatever. I don't know what it is. It sounds like the Legion of Dooms. I just slaughtered that.
It's some sort of, I know, I was going to do the sound and I knew I was going to slaughter it, so I let you do it.
Yeah, but Roman needs to change his theme too. He has a very generic 80s or 90s wrestling theme song that's very
it's boring.
Come on, man, have something cool, something you want to hear when it comes off. It makes it makes you jump out of your seat. And for me, this doesn't do it. Maybe even getting rid of the vest. He didn't leave the Shield image. I kind of feel.
Yeah, I feel you.
You feel Seth Rollins, and you've seen Dean Ambrose to some degree, but mainly Seth Rollins evolve and kind of continue to grow. And I just feel like Roman Reigns, he's getting better on the mic, for sure.
Is he, though? It's the same thing,
yeah, he is,
really.
But dude, go back and watch his early stuff. He's a lot better on the mic. He can cut a promo. I'm not saying it's the best promo, but he's comfortable enough on the mic that he can handle himself. Obviously, Joe's in another league, but that's it. You got to be creative. You got to be able to take yourself to that next level. He can be a bit aggressive. He can have a bit of a tone, but what's really going to make him stand out? And I think maybe also putting him in some other matches with other superstars that aren't as focused in the main event. Don't make Raw revolve around him. Make Raw revolve around the superstars.
Okay.
I think that's a big part of it too. They force-fed us John Cena. John Cena went on to kind of do things. He earned our respect over time. I'm pretty sure you're going to see Roman Reigns on the stage getting a Hall of Fame ring one day, and they're going to say, you deserved it. And it's going to be a story where the biggest story a wrestler has had against the fans and winning them over, and he will one day. He'll earn their respect.
But how? That's the question I have.
I think he is now. He's doing it. I mean, this is all part of it. It's going to be a long journey for him. I mean, he's going to get dragged through the mud a lot. I don't think the fans hate this guy. I just don't think they want him to be the guy.
Okay.
He's been in. I mean, I can't say the number because I don't have it in front of me, but pay-per-views when there's a world title on the line, more often than not, Roman Reigns is in that match. So let's see some other people fight for that title.
No, I agree. I mean, it's been Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns show, like you said, for a year.
More than a year. Remember the triple threat or the match where Seth Rollins cashed in too? These guys have kind of been at it for quite some time.
Did you say banana?
No, I was talking about Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And how he came in and cashed in the Money in the Bank match.
I don't know where I heard banana.
That back. Imagine I actually did say banana.
Yeah, I gotta listen to that.
That would be a sign of me having a stroke, people, if I randomly said banana.
Or I'm having a stroke, one or the other. What if? Okay, you mentioned maybe drop him down a bit, maybe have him face some other wrestlers, not for the title, maybe a mid card thing. What if you I heard Bully Ray this week talking about it on Busted Open. He brought up a good point. Why not just have him leave for a bit? You know what I mean? After WrestleMania, he could have been beaten down, bloodied, and he could have left. He could have been out of commission for, I don't know, as long enough so that there's a whole other thing going on, and then have the guy drop it like it's hot and come back.
And you know what? Give the guy a vacation because he's been carrying the company for quite some time, or at least doing a lot of work, So give the guy some time off.
I got mad respect for the guy.
I do, for sure. That's it. That's what I'm saying. He's earning the respect, and he's going to deserve it one day. And all that shit. But it's like, it's not his fault. He comes out there and tries to do the best job he can. It's the way that they're packaging him.
Yeah,
and
they're
the
not
way
packaging
they're
him
giving. And I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. Have him leave. He's beat down. And then I think, was it you who brought up the idea to have him kind of do this Sting-like character?
Oh, yeah,
where
definitely.
He appears in the crowd, but
yeah.
he's quiet.
Oh, man.
And then when he comes to the ring, he just destroys shit.
I love it.
And then, yeah, I mean, that could be interesting too.
Because he's a powerhouse, right? And that's what got him
is.
over in the Shield, is that he's the muscle, and he should be used as the muscle. I know people were talking about, hey, let's get Heyman, like a heel turn and get Heyman on him. I don't want to see him not cut his own promos. I think he could. There's moments of brilliance that I've seen over the years. We've mentioned on previous podcasts when he came with Lana and Rusev, and he was eating their cake and smashing their cake around, and he had a pretty good run on 3 or 4 weeks before WrestleMania, where he was cutting the promo, the first original "Is he going off script" on Brock Lesnar promo. That was good, but having him come out we saw on Raw, and just come and he's bringing back Believe That. This is not going to get him over. WWE has to know by now. It feels like they're just trying to bury him at this point.
I think they don't know what to do with him, but Vince McMahon is being very stubborn and not admitting defeat, and he's going to keep moving forward, and I think he doesn't want to lose this battle. I think he's invested so much time into it as well. We saw kind of a chink in the armor when he made a decision to have Roman lose at WrestleMania in the end, which was quite a surprise. But he just made chink. Sorry, when I said chink, he made some slanty eyes and threw me off by making me laugh. So anything can happen when you're alive.
I just wanted to throw that one in
That's
there.
a good
Actually, I had a new one. I should have
to
used
get
it
us out
there.
of that
Damn
moment.
it. But yeah, no, the big dog can't get over. But do you see him going over a GRR? Is that?
I mean, you got to think of the circumstance. We're in a cage, right? So he can escape that way, not have to pin Brock Lesnar necessarily. Is Brock Lesnar going to climb out the cage himself? Is it just going to be a pin in the cage?
Joe? Can Joe be involved?
Is Joe in the Greatest Royal Rumble?
He's
sure.
for sure in Saudi Arabia. So I'm
Right,
assuming.
no,
he's in the Fatal 4-Way. But he's probably in the Rumble.
You're right.
The WWE
No, then
is
he
in the
will
Rumble.
not. He will not interfere if he's in another match.
Okay.
I'm just going off of WWE's usual recipe. But I have a feeling that Roman Reigns is going to get the win because they're going to give it to the Saudi Arabia crowd.
Yeah. Okay, well, on the subject of Saudi Arabia, a lot of people are pissed off about the women not being invited. I didn't think much of it at first, but over the last couple of days, I've been hearing a couple of people's opinions. Our buddies over at Pro Wrestling Recap, I was watching their podcast. He brought up a good point. He was asking his co-host, who's African American. I don't know if you caught this, but he said, imagine if, I don't know, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, they went to South Africa and said, "You're welcome, but none of your black superstars can come." And the WWE would go. And I thought that was pretty interesting because I didn't look at it from that perspective. I just looked at it like, oh, it's just the women. But I guess that's the problem that we're looking at it like it's just the women. So, put yourself in Vince McMahon's shoes. I know money's money and,
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing.
And that's where his head is at. But, I mean, this is a pretty big smash to the women's revolution. What do you think?
I wouldn't say it's a smash. I think they're going to still thrive and continue to thrive despite this. I mean, there's many ways to look at it. The fact that they're saying you can come, but the women can't, and they're saying, yeah, okay, fine, we'll be there. I mean, obviously, They may have been a bit more reluctant about it. They might have said, well, why can't they? I mean, the thing is I think that, the major thing is here that Saudi Arabia is a place that this kind of thing still exists.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll change over time. And, maybe in the future they'll have a show where women are going to be there and they'll have the first women's match and they'll be part of history. But,
yeah, there's that thing to look at it too, and that's what Triple H said, right? I read the headlines from his interview, but said that it's a step in the right direction and things aren't going to change overnight. But I don't know, man. It's just even on Smackdown, this women's revolution, right? They say, oh, it's not just for the concessions anymore. But I don't know if you noticed, but they keep just putting commercials during the women's matches.
It's all matches, but
every single women's match has one.
Yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah. I've noticed. And it's driving me crazy, man.
I heard a rumor that in compensation for not going to the Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, the women are getting big paychecks.
So they're paid them off.
basically saying we're sorry about the situation. It sucks. We appreciate your work. Here's a bonus.
Money's pretty good. I think I would be okay with that if I was a woman.
I would. You probably. I mean, you want to go there. You want to be part of the show. Stay at the company long enough, it'll happen. And at the same time, you're getting a vacation to stay at home, see your family, and you're getting a good paycheck.
That's true.
But I'm not saying like it's screw the room and it's good. Like there's definitely two ways to look at it, and it's I understand two ways. You have to respect Saudi Arabia's culture. At the same time, I don't agree with that. I mean,
right.
It's very outdated. But I mean, WWE is a powerful machine. But they can't change the world, They're not going to go there and say, hey, change your ways for us. They're going to have an influence, and hopefully it'll get to a point where maybe there will be a change, and they could be kind of a guiding factor in that. But reality of it is, they got to go to Saudi Arabia. They have a show to put on. It's really big. It's a monumental event, and this is just kind of the way things are, at least for this time around. But I don't think the women should take it to heart, and they're going to thrive regardless.
I was reading a tweet. I don't know who it was who posted it, and I'm sorry for it, but it would have been pretty cool if they kind of gave them like bigger segments on Raw and SmackDown this past week because of that. So, I mean, the person who tweeted said they should have made the entire episode about them, but...
Well, they did let the main event Raw.
Yeah, it was a shitty-ass 10-woman tag.
Well, they were mimicking the guys from the week before. They were like, oh, now we're going to do it with the women, and I don't know... It wasn't much of a match, I would say.
Exactly.
It was really cool to see Nia Jax just bulldoze over everybody. She jumped off the apron and just took everybody out.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But I mean, I
feel bad for them.
Step in the right direction.
I gotta feel bad
to
for
help
them
out here.
I feel bad for them. But anyways, speaking of the women, speaking of feeling bad for, are things ever going to get better for Becky Lynch? Because this is getting like almost like it's like comical, man. Like. Even Asuka, technically she lost, so she's on a losing streak now.
Yeah, they're gonna do that now. I feel like she lost. Okay, now she'll get rolled up by somebody soon. You'll see, and then what's her name? One of the Iconics or something is just gonna roll up Asuka and get a win on her, and that's it. I think I'll stop watching SmackDown for a good portion after that. Like I will get sick. I'm already having a hard time with those two.
So you draw the line at Asuka. Becky Lynch is okay. Is Becky Lynch like one of your... Where does she stand for you in women's wrestling?
Well, first of all, with Asuka, I don't mind that she loses. Just make it mean something. Just don't have her start losing every week. A tag team match, it doesn't even matter for me, this tag team match. She didn't get pinned. It's more realistic this way. Cool, I'm down with it. So Becky Lynch, I like her. I like her a lot. I think she's in my top 5 to 7 list, I would say.
Okay.
She's good. She's really kind soul. She works really hard. And probably deserves a lot better. She's basically kind of a better version of Bayley in the sense that she can connect with the crowd and be a good role model, but actually is a bit more dimensional than Bayley is, and can do a little bit more. She probably can be a heel and a face, and she's a pretty girl and she's nice. And I think that's a big thing that kind of ties in with her circumstances. I feel like she's kind of too nice, and she's probably just like, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna lose this week. Okay, you're gonna go out there and lose this week. Sure thing, and I'll make it look good. Like she's just a nice person, and I'm sure she's just happy to be there. And assuming the rotation will come and her time will come again, and it will.
Well, that's what I was just about to ask you.
She'll get back into the picture at some point, but this doesn't help her situation. That's for sure.
Do you think WWE has enough? What's the word I'm looking for? Enough faith in her that they can kind of not misuse her, but kind of have her doing the role that she has now, and they know that. At any given moment, they could build her right back up.
I think that's the thing with Becky Lynch. You can.
Yeah.
So, same thing with AJ. Well, I'm not going to compare AJ Styles to Becky Lynch, but...
No, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, AJ Styles can lose a match, and then the next week on Raw, it doesn't matter. It doesn't damage... On SmackDown, it doesn't damage him. He can... You don't know if he's going to win or lose every week, and that's fine, makes it unpredictable, but when he loses, it doesn't damage him.
Yeah.
And same thing with Becky Lynch. It makes her look bad, obviously.
In the moment. And
it's not the same thing as AJ, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? And
I know what you're trying to say, yeah.
She can recover from this. And
she can
will.
recover.
But it comes down to WWE realizing this and seeing her value and using her to her potential. But now they flooded both rosters with a flurry of women. So I bet you they're all very, very nervous. And I bet you a lot of them are kind of like, oh man, like more call-ups. Like that's more competition. It's, back in the day when the men were on top and it would be like, oh, Brett and Sean would have a feud.
Yeah.
And this would mainly be on the fact that both of them wanted to be in the top. And, they wanted to be the guy, and they wanted to be Vince McMahon's guy. And this, now you have like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and they're all so respectful of one another, and they're not really out to get each other, and they're just really proud of doing their job and putting on a good show, and everybody bringing their best. But I can't help but feel like the women, there must be some kind of, we saw Nia Jax get frustrated. People are going to say she went home, she was tired, but I'm sure she was a bit frustrated with her situation. And, maybe that was the reasoning also why Asuka went over to SmackDown, because Nia Jax was frustrated and The Rock called in a favor to break some legs. Who knows?
That's interesting what you said, because...
Yeah, it must be tough for them. It must be tough.
But going back to, Shawn Michaels and Diesel, and how they both wanted to be the guy, right? And that's what kind of, real life bled into storyline.
You said Shawn Michaels and Diesel.
What did you say?
Brett, you screwed Brett.
I love it. So getting back to what I was trying to say, do you think guaranteed contracts has made WWE superstars like more complacent? Because since the Monday Night Wars, that's kind of what one of the biggest results of the Monday Night Wars was. It kind of changed the way WWE paid their employees and yada, yada, yada. And now the guys are guaranteed pay. They're kind of like, they're a little bit more complacent. They're a little bit more safe in the ring. They're a little bit more longevity, and they kind of just they know the paycheck's coming regardless of performance. Yeah, I'm sure there's perks for whatever, but
there's probably some people on the roster like that. But they, that's been in effect for quite some time, and I'm sure they've weeded out a lot of the complacent people. So you'll have two groups of people. You have the people who are like, oh, I want to have a good career, but I have a good paycheck, so I'm comfortable and I'll do the job. I guess like Primo Cologne and all them, right?
But that's what I'm talking. Yeah, but no, I mean, there's some big names that have that way. Like you just said, that's kind of like what Becky Lynch is doing, She's kind of like just happy to be there, happy to collect the paycheck.
I mean, maybe it seems like that. I'm sure if you asked Becky or you got inside her head and her heart, I'm probably sure she wants to be the top.
But I want to see
and
them
the people
fight
who
for
are
it,
complacent, You have all the people who are complacent, but you have a lot of people who love this contract, love the traveling, but they also want to be the best. And there's enough of people like that who can join the Raw roster and join wrestling, and all the people who are complacent just be phased out. And you'll have just a bunch of hungry wolves who bring you the best every week.
And I think that's what the Attitude Era was, though. You know what I mean? Because they were fighting for TV time, they're fighting for money, and they're fighting to be the best. And that's what drove it to be as good as it was. Because, like, you listen to Stone Cold podcast, and he had Dean Ambrose on there, and he ripped them apart. And Dean Ambrose is one of the higher paid guys, too.
It's also the edginess. I mean, like,
Oh, for sure.
That's a big part about it. It was the restriction that was taken off them with the PG-14. And even PG-14, that was probably too young. There was some pretty graphic, pretty violent, pretty...
puppies, baby.
Expletive language. And, boobs and brawn panty matches, and those days are
the good old days,
sadly behind us. Yeah, I still think it'd be really cool to bring back like an Attitude Era pay-per-view at some point, once a year or something like that, and like kids can parents can tuck their kids into bed early those nights, and they give way ahead notice, have media press basically telling people what this is and that it's for adults, and they'd have way more than enough time to prepare for it.
What about a revamp on the network only ECW?
They've tried this so many times.
Oh, have they?
And it will fail.
Yeah.
They've tried to bring back ECW multiple times, and I don't think Heyman would want it back. I don't think anybody from ECW would want it back. You cannot recreate that magic, and it's not going to be the same thing. Call it something different.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, call it something different.
Not ECW, no nothing. Don't even try to make it ECW.
Because
WWE Hardcore or... I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Just WWE After Hours or WWE After Dark.
WWE Extreme.
Because
you have like
Extreme
WWE,
scares me.
And then you can put Extreme. No?
Extreme scares me just because.
But that's what they would
rules.
pick with because they're so cheesy, right?
Yeah,
they'd be like
cheesy.
Extreme.
Yeah. No, because like on the network they have like Camp WWE, and that's pretty freaking like rated R stuff.
Yeah.
So
but kids can't imitate that. They can't imitate cartoons. They just can watch it.
No, but from what I understand is that it's PG because of their TV contracts, right? The network, I mean, they could do whatever the hell they want on the network. It's not really geared towards kids, the network. It's like documentaries, behind the scenes crap. I don't think a lot of kids are going to care about watching three guys from the Attitude Era talk at a table. I think it's more geared towards the older fans, and you see in their in the programs in their programming, and I think it could work if they had like just a couple of the guys that can't make it on the main roster, like throw Bo Dallas in there and have it a little bit more like NXT meets Attitude Era kind of thing, and give us an hour a week or something like that.
You're gonna have Bo Dallas, and you're gonna succeed with that.
He was NXT champion.
Let's do it.
He was NXT champion.
I love black guys.
So we got to talk about Raw and SmackDown, obviously, before we wrap this up. I know we're doing things a little bit differently, so we're going to kind of go over what you want to go over the takeaways from Raw and SmackDown.
Sure.
This week? Yeah,
Takeaways from Raw and SmackDown.
All
So,
right.
Raw, SmackDown this week. You know, you catch both shows this week?
I did, and I could tell from your tone already that we share the same outlook on it.
Not impressed. SmackDown mainly, and I think I'm going to tell you folks, and I might get a little bit of grief for this. So Montreal is coming, Raw and SmackDown is coming to Montreal.
Yeah.
And I think SmackDown the first time in 13 years. AJ Styles, Nakamura, Asuka, which I was really excited to see on Raw, is now on SmackDown. I watched SmackDown this week, folks. I made the decision that I'm not going to go to SmackDown in Montreal based on this week's SmackDown alone.
I feel like, here's one thing. They're pretty like is it pigeon-held, pigeon-toed? What's the word? They're screwed, right? They're screwed.
Pigeon-holed.
Pigeon-held? Pigeon-held?
Holded?
Yeah. But in the past, anyways, they're frozen, man. They're stuck between Backlash and the Greatest Royal Rumble. So
yeah, it's really weird timing.
It is
really weird.
I'll give him a pass. Like, you got to give him a pass. I think it's going to start again in Montreal. But anyways, carry on. Sorry.
All right, so yeah, we'll jump into it. We'll go through Raw first. Raw was pretty good. It opened up with a package and a tribute to Bruno Sammartino. I thought that was really classy, really good. The more I read into this, well, I obviously follow him. I know his career, but the more I'm reading into him, like, he's definitely one of the greatest of all time, and he would maybe be on my Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
Ooh, whoa, okay.
Yep.
That's a whole other topic for a whole other day.
I think he would possibly, just based on what he's contributed to the industry and his longevity of his career and his name, I guess.
I don't know it because I can't say that I've ever watched one of his matches. I know that he's talked about like he's a god in wrestling. So I think one rainy day I'll go. There's a collection on the network. I'll check it out.
I'm sure they'll do an ESPN thing as well now.
Oh, they are. I think there was one. Well, I think there was like a WWE 24 or a WWE special that aired after Raw. But you're right. HBO is probably going to do something similar to Andre the Giant for him.
Yeah. So I do recommend. Do check it out, folks. Legacy, legend.
Yeah.
Check it out. And then we went into some Stinkville. Brock Lesnar makes his way back to Raw finally with Heyman, and it's the same thing we see week after week when Brock's there. How about Brock just once takes the mic from Heyman's hand and says, "I got this. I beat your ass. You're not." He goes off on Roman Reigns. No, he comes in, he cuts his paycheck. He's lazy. It's so boring.
Lazy.
Hearing Heyman go every single week. I seriously go forward on my PVR and nothing changes. It's the same thing.
Because he's not saying anything anyways, eh?
No.
Like if you actually watch it.
He basically just goes and says the same thing he says every week, Like, my client, he's the champion, he's the guy who beat The Undertaker, and he beat you at WrestleMania, and he ended your story, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just the same thing every week, and I was a little bit like, every time I see him come out, I'm like, oh, here we go again, same thing. Maybe he'll grab the mic this week and... No. So for me, that was a big stink. One thing that I thought this week, though, we had Elias pick up a big win on Bobby Roode. So
yeah,
we
thank
had
God.
Bobby Roode, who was the U.S. champion, not long ago and not for long.
WrestleMania,
so
I think. No, Randy, sorry.
This makes me wonder, what's the plan, therefore, for Roode? Because, he only had the title for so long. Are they already giving up on him? What's the plan? And then he loses against Elias. And I get they want to push Elias and give him a credible win.
I'm cool with
I think
that.
that's what they did here.
It was,
and I like Elias more than Roode. So.
Oh, God, yeah. And it was perfect for Elias because Roode is somewhat over. And to have Elias get a pin on him was good. I secretly, deep down, I hope that Vince McMahon hates Bobby Roode and he's just out to bury him. I hope so.
Yeah, I'm okay. I will be part of that ride if that is the case.
I get it, how a Bobby Roode heel turn would be better, but his in-ring is just, honestly, I'd rather watch The Miz.
It's very vanilla. Yeah.
Like, I'd rather watch The Miz because I know The Miz sucks. Bobby Roode looks like he shouldn't suck, and he's Canadian.
He goes and he did. What did he do? Like an elbow drop? No, you know what he did? No, I know what he did. He went to the top rope this week on SmackDown, and he did Kane's clothesline, where he goes to the top rope and gives him that clothesline, and it didn't look great at all. And then after he's like, yeah, like kind of like when like a wrestler will like do like a planche to the outside or a somersault, land on his feet, and be super pumped afterwards.
Yeah,
he was super pumped and excited and proud of himself after this really weak clothesline at the top rope.
I think that guy's eating paint chips, man. He doesn't seem like he's all there. His IQ is low. I think he's had concussion issues. Screw him. I hate Bobby Roode. One
thing that picked up the show a little bit for me, Sammy and KO show. So I guess they're introducing a new segment. Miz TV, we have the Ambrose Asylum, Heartbreak Hotel, we have Piper's Pit. Now we have the Sammy and KO show.
Can't forget about the
highlight reel, which is the best.
Arm drag.
It's Jericho, baby.
Baby.
So you liked it?
Yeah, so what did you think about this segment? Did you like it? You thought it added comedy? You think it was too much?
At times it seemed like Sammy could just tone it down a bit. I don't know if it's like, you mentioned it. I don't know if you mentioned it on last week's episode, or if you mentioned it to me when we were just shooting the shit. But you're like, the hand gestures are getting a little bit over the top here, and I agree. He's overacting. I loved the glasses. It's hilarious.
The old man grandpa glasses?
Grandpa Sammy, I like it. I get that he's supposed to be zany. I think he could tone it down a notch.
Is that where Zane comes from?
I think it might be. Oh. And somebody else, I saw somebody, no, was it either Saxton or Graves that mentioned it on Raw? And I was like, oh, maybe that's what it's from. But anyways, he reminds me of George Costanza and the way that he overacted the first 2 or 3 episodes of Seinfeld. And, I mean, if you look at Seinfeld, George Costanza is one of the greatest characters of TV history. So if Sami Zayn could find that balance, I think it could really work. But I even find like KO looks at him sometimes and is like, tone it down, bud. Like,
yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah. It's like, you're fucking up my shit.
Yeah, no,
but he's Canadian.
It would be cool if KO made it on Raw and Zayn didn't, and nobody knew what happened to him. But then they bring El Generico with a mask on, and like everybody knows it's Sami Zayn. But for like a year, he just denies to be Sami Zayn, talks in the same voice as Sami Zayn.
Oh, totally. Puts on the glasses.
Yeah, with the glasses. Yeah, he puts the same glasses on to read.
Oh, he's so good.
But yeah, so this was a segment, add a little bit of comedy. I guess we're going to see this here and there. They'll add in the Sammy and KO show. Kurt Angle came out. They did a bit of a back and forth. Led to a match against Braun Strowman and Lashley, where Braun Strowman annihilated them. He basically ran around the ring and took Kevin Owens out, 3 times, twice, and then once the giant drop kick.
Oh, that was fun too. That was a fun match.
Yeah, he sandwiched him. It was great. I loved it. And you know what? This really helped, and it did bring back a lot of momentum for Braun Strowman. I think he's on track again.
Huge. I mean, he's another one of those guys that can kind of, take losses here and there, and we're forgotten about it. Because I know when he lost with the 1 F5 to Brock Lesnar, I think I ranted for 10 minutes on one of our episodes on how he's been ruined. And then the WrestleMania
even with the tag team match at WrestleMania, I really thought it was going to be really hard for him to recover after this. I think the fans are kind of like, okay, fine, WWE did something for the kids, and a Disney moment. Yeah, and then he came back out with a monster. Like, okay, let's go back on track. And I think he's at least back on track now.
What do you think of Bobby Lashley playing second fiddle, though?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, and it ties in with what I was going to say.
Okay.
I thought Braun Strowman couldn't find a tag team partner.
Oh, yeah.
And now he can find a tag team partner just like that.
Yeah.
And not just that, they work well together, and he seemed to be happy tagging with Braun Strowman. So why didn't you not just have him debut at WrestleMania?
Totally.
It could have been Bobby Lashley coming out. The crowd would have exploded to some degree or been happy, at least excited, a big return.
Yeah.
And have him tag with Braun Strowman. Right now they'd be running with the tag team titles, give them something to do. But instead you have Lashley come in the following day against Elias in a segment. It wasn't even a match.
I know.
The crowd was kind of fell flat on it.
Yeah.
And they really wasted a chance with his debut, So that was a bit strange. And then you have him tagging with him now, and he couldn't... There's all these holes you can poke in lots of things now.
Think about this. Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, WrestleMania moment. He returns. Huge. These guys are monsters. They beat the Bar. The Bar doesn't look weak. They got beaten by Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. They have a short run where Bobby Lashley goes heel, turns on Braun Strowman. You got a sweet-ass SummerSlam match.
Yeah. I don't know if you could have Bobby Lashley go heel. That's probably why they're not going that direction. Because, I don't know. Again, I said this last week. He's got a very kind face.
He's too smiley. He's guy smiley.
Yeah, he's smiley, and he looks very nice. And it's I can't picture this guy. I just can't.
What happens if
I
they
can't.
tattooed his eyebrows to look angry?
Yeah, his eyebrows are a mess. I don't know what
They're
happened. He
tattooed,
wasn't
man. They're tattooed.
He wasn't. I guess he wasn't born with them, or he removed them at some point, or.
Maybe all the performance-enhancing drugs made him lose them?
Well, I've never seen that before.
No, I know. I'm just thinking. I know. He's a beast, though. He looked great, but I feel like
He
he's being
looks like a
undersold.
regular-sized person against Braun Strowman.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
He's next to Braun Strowman. It's
That's true.
ridiculous.
I mean, I've read conflicting things. Some people say he's being undersold because he didn't get the pin. Some people are like, no.
He hasn't got a pin yet. Yeah, that's.
They're
true.
just
That's
kind of
amazing.
throwing him in slowly and getting his name out there because the people don't know who he is. But I think they should have booked him a little bit stronger.
Right, and someone they did book strong this week. Big win. Gable beat Jinder Mahal, and that's
awesome.
how the day and age we're in, 2018, folks. Chad Gable getting a win on Jinder Mahal. That's the day and age we're living in. It's
That's
a big
okay.
win.
I'm okay with that.
Jinder Mahal's looking more like a beast, now. I guess he's kind of has a little bit more credibility now when he wrestles.
I think so. I think he's had enough wins. The WrestleMania win was big, and it did. It brought credibility back, and then he just gave it right to Jeff Hardy after, so it's perfect.
Yeah. Hey, talking about credibility, you think McIntyre is going to give Ziggler credibility now, or at least elevate him? Because I know that's like, it looks like they're going to use Ziggler to push McIntyre, but it's almost like I feel like it would work in the other way around. You're going to have McIntyre pushing Ziggler or making him relevant again.
I think it's a perfect fit. I think the two of them are going to work well together. Everybody's calling him the new age Shawn Michaels and Diesel. I don't really like it. I feel like that was Shawn Michaels and Diesel. They should never be compared. Nobody should be able to be compared to them. They were that good. But I'm excited to see them, and I think Drew Mack had the greatest segment on the entire show of Raw. So.
Oh, his promo? Yeah, his
so
promos
good.
is great. It's really genuine too when he goes off, even on social media.
His accent's great. It's like we kind of have this super giant version of Neville back, and I just fucking love it.
He's a beast too.
Yeah, he's a beast.
And then their finisher too, the Claymore and the zigzag at once.
I love the
destroys
finisher.
guy.
I hate how Michael Cole says his zigzag is one of the greatest moves ever, and it usually could put people out for the 3 count. It never did. So.
One thing that put me down for the 3 count was the no way Jose segment.
Oh, I wish I had a cheesy bud. No way Jose didn't like it?
Oh man, it's the rosebuds all over again, and you already see WWE struggling to find a way to fit them in.
Yeah.
They come out to the ring, the match didn't even happen, and then Corbin beats down no way Jose. Now I guess I can only assume they're not going to have No Way Jose beating Corbin. If they do, holy crap, poor Corbin. So if Corbin, I'm assuming they're going to have a match next week or the week after. Corbin's probably going to beat No Way Jose. So what does that mean at that point? Is No Way Jose squashed? Is that it? Is that the end of his party?
No, I don't think that I was not a fan of his debut. He came out on Raw, and he came out at the right time when the crowd was just getting a little bit flat, and he does bring that little bit of energy. I know it's the Rosebuds, but I'm thinking back, hey, you know who used to do that? The Godfather with the Ho Train. The Ho Train used to come out,
true.
everybody would get reeled up, and it's a thing that they do, and I'm okay with it, and he should just be a guy who comes out and gets squashed, wins a couple via roll-up, maybe in 5-6 years gets like a IC run or a U.S. championship run, but I'm okay. I mean, not everybody has to be a big boy. He's fulfilling his purpose.
So you're going to waste 5-6 years of my watching WWE and also my time. And not just that, this is a time during the show where other superstars can be wrestling, and I feel like you're going to have somebody in the back going like, oh, I'm not in the show tonight, but No Way Jose is dancing with his posse and going to lose another match.
Yeah, but the other person who's backstage might be the guy beating him that time, and he'll have his turn too. That guy should be a better wrestler. If you're getting bumped for No Way Jose, there's a reason you are.
Well, okay, so you're going to say that the reason Neville got bumped was justified for Enzo Amore?
No, but I think if Neville would have just shut up and stuck around, I think eventually he would have came out on top.
Well,
I think Neville...
Enzo Amore did.
Well, there you go. See? There you go. Bang on. Enzo would have raped and Neville would have been champion.
And all would have been well with the world, folks.
I booed myself.
All right, another match we had. We had Rollins and Balor versus the Miztourage. Now, the only reason I want to talk about this one is because the Miztourage, they're lost, they're lonely, they're confused. What is going to happen with them? Where are they going to go? We saw this week on social media, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy tease them to join the Broken Family.
So cool.
And yeah, that could be interesting. At least having Bo there. Curtis Axel, I feel, is doomed.
I like him.
But I kind of like him.
He's so bad, I like him.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah. I can't stop looking at his, like, he has like this scar on his stomach where I guess we had an appendix taken out or something. It's like a little fold on his belly. Like
it's like a hernia. It looks like.
Yeah, there's something there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, I mean, I like the guys, but I'm just kind of interested to see where they go from here. They don't have the Miz anymore. Change your name, move on. But
I think give them 2 more weeks doing what they did this week on Raw, going up to superstars and wearing their shirts and doing their stuff. 2 more weeks of it, and then they gotta like repackage. But I could take 2 more weeks of that.
All right, noted. Let's see where we are 2 weeks from now, folks. And then we had Raw copping off with the ladies' 10-man main event, 5-on-5.
It was a mess.
So they want to throw everybody into the main event, say, the women are going to main event Raw, and let's just throw them all at you, and let's have a really, I guess, average match. I really like Nia Jax coming off the apron and just, I guess, bouldering over everybody.
Yeah, she looked strong. Ember Moon looked fantastic as well.
Yeah, Ember Moon's fantastic. Yeah. She is good. One of the best, if not... Well, definitely one of the best on the roster, for sure.
Definitely.
I love women that can wrestle, and she can definitely wrestle.
And she has like that low center of gravity. I like to see her versus Naomi in a match.
Oh, yeah, that could be great.
That'd be cool. Yeah, she was hype. But I didn't like the ending. You?
Well, no, it was kind of like it was these 10 women who were main eventing Raw, and then, again, out comes Ronda Rousey. I was wondering, where was she? And she comes to the ring, speed walking like Santino Marella.
Marella, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess hip toss, armbar to Mickie James, and DQ, just like that. So
the timing of the bell was weird too.
Yeah, the ending was a bit confusing, the timing, but so I mean, I guess they're going to continue this Ronda Rousey and Natalya, I guess, bonding, and then eventual breakup and feud.
Yeah, little odd that Natalya comes over and she's face, but whatever, it's WWE, I'll take it. I prefer Natalya as a face anyways. I think she was a heel a bit too long. I don't know. Maybe, I guess Ronda's going to fight Mickie next, maybe?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah?
I think on the UK tour, she's slated to be fighting Mickie James, so this is the start of that.
UK tour, is that going to be
and
televised?
That's it again. They're putting her with somebody who's a veteran and they trust. So.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's true.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're overbooking her, but anyways.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
One thing I'm definitely not okay with as a whole is Smackdown.
Yeah. What's irking you? What's irking you, bro?
Well, I was really excited. You know, we had the Miz's return. I was really excited.
That was
to see
actually
he
pretty
comes
good.
Out. Yeah, that's a good promo. Daniel Bryan does not come out and confront him, which was unfortunate. They're really going to draw this out, which I guess is the whole thing. It's awesome. You're going to really want it. But then Big Cass comes out. Dresses himself as he's coming out, puts on his watch, puts on his jacket.
The jacket was okay, the watch was pushing it.
I don't know why he didn't do this to begin with. And he cuts a pretty good promo. Pretty good. And a lot better than I thought he was going to put out at least. But we'll see where that goes. I thought The Miz was going to be at one point like, who are you? Who are you to say that to me? I like it.
Yeah.
And then they would have like been a posse, I guess, or they would have been a group, or they could still go in that direction.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's going to be Daniel Bryan has to get through Big Cass to get to The Miz.
Yeah, that's a feud. I don't know, man. I'm with you. Like, it was a good promo, and Big Cass is, I don't know yet. Like, I don't know how I feel about him yet, but I'm not. I don't think I'm excited about Big Cass versus Daniel Bryan.
I'm not excited about Big Cass. Yeah. I really was. He doesn't do it for me, and I was actually kind of like, oh, he's injured. Now we don't have to have Big Cass every week. And
yeah, I mean,
it's kind of mean, but he didn't do it for me. But we'll see. You know, Nia Jax, Carmelo, they've won me over to some degree, so maybe I'll give him a fair chance, and maybe he can do it too. So, you know, I think a group that's not going to win me over that easily is the Iconics. We talked about them earlier. Yeah, we talked about them earlier, getting the win over Becky Lynch. But I'm telling you,
don't like the Iconics?
They're Lay Cool version 2.0.
Fuck Lay Cool. I never saw it.
It's the Mean Girls gimmick that's just so played and so done.
But I know they're Mean Girls. They weren't as good this week as they were last week because the impression they made of Charlotte was good. But their accents make it acceptable.
Yeah, well, that's all. You know,
like spot on. Like I was dying, man.
I find they're ridiculous. They're just like cool, and then also like they're not that fantastic wrestlers. And then when they come onto the roster, you get to push them, so they have to get big wins over big superstars. And to me, it's like, oh, they don't deserve that. And I know I'm being salty. A lot of you are gonna be like, boo, Iconic duo, Iconics are awesome. They don't do it for me. They don't do it for me.
I think they will. I think they're going to win you over. And it was a heel victory, so I could live with it. And it was on It was on Becky, who's probably my top 3. So,
If one of them get a pin on Asuka, I'm done.
are you done?
I'm done Smackdown for a while. I'm gonna rant. You'll hear me. We're gonna have a segment just for that.
We're called Salty Dez.
Yeah. But one thing I did like, though, was the way they added Naomi to the mix this week, because now there's lots of people on SmackDown. How are you going to fit them in? Where are you going to put them?
It was fun.
Putting Naomi with the Usos was great. Obviously, it was a great angle. People liked the whole lovey-dovey segment backstage. But hell, why not, man? Let's put more women with the men. I thought it was really cool. She came out. She helped them win.
It's about time.
It was fantastic. Why not do more of that?
And it was a little sexy.
There should be some of these women, like have Sasha Banks, go out with Finn Balor every week or something, or I don't know, start putting people together a little bit more.
Bayley needs a boyfriend, but Naomi with her butt shake and Luke Harper.
I still think Bayley wanting to walk with Elias and being all cool,
dude,
wearing a leather jacket or a jean jacket or something would be hilarious.
With Elias's name on it, or like a binder with hearts.
She has one of his scarves that she carries around.
Yeah, and he's just not having it.
No, he's not having it. He's not having it at all.
Oh, that'd be good. But no, I completely agree, man. Having the men and the women mixed together, Naomi's booty shake was nice. I think it brought a little bit of humanity to Harper and Rowan. Another thing I want to note, last week they wrestled. They were Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. This week they were just Rowan and Harper. So I don't know if WWE just can't make up their goddamn minds on these guys.
Well, now apparently it was Apollo Crews. There was somebody who got their first name back. I think it was Apollo Crews, I feel. They decided to give somebody their first name back.
Wait, Apollo was going by just Crews for a while?
Or it was Apollo. He got his last name back.
Oh.
So now it's Apollo Crews again.
I think they're all wishy-washy. It might just be the guy announcing their names when they come down, though.
Wishy-washy,
so who knows?
Wishy-washy. One thing that really irked me this week, okay? This is my rant for the week.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Carmella.
Oh.
And again, I'm not going to sit here and rip Carmella because I don't mind her. I'm fine with her being a heel champion. I think she could do it. I think she's got it in her. She's doing what she needs to do. She's doing her job. I just find the way they're booking this, having the same old copy-paste recipes. She wins the championship. Let's have a celebration tonight. Let's call it the Mellebration. And then there'll be these podiums with leopard print, and I'll go out and I'll say how great I was. And then, next week, a contract sign. Oh my God, I'm so sick of contract signings.
I saw the teaser promo for it, and I was like, oh God, Dez is going to be pissed.
I cannot tell you how many I've sat through and I'm wishing it was the last one. And again, I just feel like they're doing all these things that are just like fillers. Like have her do something new or unique, I don't know. And then she's all kind of like, I beat you. Like it's a little bit too much sometimes. But I get that is what Carmella's all about. And it's not against her. I just really hate the fact that we had this amazing match at WrestleMania between Asuka and Charlotte. And right now, even if Asuka lost, I know you're laughing because I'm tying it back to this.
Yeah.
But even if Asuka lost, I would rather have a continuing feud right now between Charlotte and Asuka. It would draw more viewers than having this with Carmella. I'm getting this instead of what I could have with her and Asuka having a prolonged feud or something like that. I just feel like, and it's not knocking on Carmella. If they could book this properly, I feel like I would be more into it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just like, okay, we made this big move, making Carmella the champion. What do we do? I don't know. Let's open up the book, close our eyes, and point. Celebration. Contract signing.
It's lazy.
Not doing it for me.
I mean, let's hope that maybe after Backlash, Charlotte wins it back and they can start a new program. And this was just a way to get Money in the Bank out of the way because Money in the Bank's coming back up in June. Who knows? But I agree with you. They're Control C, Control V, man. Copy paste, and they could just freshen it up by doing like a press conference. They do that in New Japan. It's interesting to watch. They do it in the UFC. A little. It's the same idea as a contract signing, but you just kind of have a mediator in the middle. And don't even do it in the ring. Do it backstage. Make it a vignette. Make it something on WWE exclusive.
They could do that. Because the thing is also, SmackDown's 2 hours. Yeah. So you only have so much time to fit things in. And we saw people who've already debuted or already claimed to have been on SmackDown. Sanity, we have
Almas as well,
man, and they weren't on SmackDown this week.
I was so disappointed with that.
Yeah. So you have these people who aren't even on the show. So like wasting my time with a contract signing, like come on. I mean, it was kind of cool at the end how she got her head smashed on the desk and then flipped over onto her head. Cool, but I could have done it another way. Could have done something a little bit better. It just didn't. I'm just tired of seeing the same old thing every week.
not to defend it, but maybe Almas and Sanity, maybe they have like, because NXT is pre-taped, maybe they have some stuff that they don't want them showing up before it's going to screw up the timeline in NXT. But I also think that they're waiting after Backlash. I honestly think that the WWE storytelling is on pause.
I do know that the talent that were called up from NXT are still performing on NXT shows.
Oh, there you go.
They're like wrapping up dates or something like that.
Yeah. Plus, Killian Dane has to get there, right?
What do you mean he has to get there?
He has to get there in the sense that like it's going to take him forever to get there. It looks like he's from like the Flintstones.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, it was a horrible joke.
I figured it was some kind of joke.
I got kids. I got kids.
It was an attempted dad joke.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Even managed that.
Yeah.
Brett screwed Brett.
That's what I'm going to do every time.
Speaking of not having time on SmackDown, Bar New Day, they threw them in a backstage segment. Pancakes and the Bar. The Bar went from being the dominant tag team to having 2 minutes with pancakes and cereal and bootios in a backstage segment that lasted more than a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was le poo poo, man. It was poo poo. I think they're going back to Raw.
They put them in it just to put them in it.
I think they're going back to Raw.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I think they are. That's just
main event.
A feeling I got.
We're gonna wrap it up with the main event.
Okay.
We had the Club reuniting, which was pretty cool. Lots of you people who like the Bullet Club, too sweet. We're excited to see that one. Nakamura versus Rusev Day. Now, I was super upset because, Aiden English did come out and rap, which was kind of interesting, but there was no promo, no build-up for this Undertaker match. At least make me believe it might not be such a squash. Have Aiden English be like, the guy who will bury the Undertaker. Like something, Like that's all you got to do. But Rusev could have said something, didn't. Backstage could have said something, didn't. So I'm really, it's going to be gross. He's literally going to destroy Rusev and put him in that casket, like really in lightning speed.
I mean, I see it a little bit differently. I still think this is a huge push for Rusev, but I know what you mean. But they're not building up any of the Greatest Royal Rumble. Nobody's like, they're not building up any of the storylines. It's almost like you gotta separate that from the rest of reality. Like, have they mentioned even about the people that are in the Greatest Royal Rumble? Other than on social media.
Yes, they have. They have a little bit. People who are going in it. The one thing also they mentioned, I don't know if it was prior to this week, but I only noticed it this week, and it's really cool. The Intercontinental match, the title match, is now a ladder match.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So
really?
That's pretty cool.
And who's in there? We got what? Balor, Rollins, Joe,
Seth Rollins, and The Miz.
Oh.
Yeah, so that could be interesting.
That could be interesting. Yeah.
There'll be blood. I'm sure of it.
There'll be blood?
Yeah, if Balor and Samoa Joe always gets busted open.
Is he a bleeder? You think there'll be blood? You think Saudi Arabia is into it?
Well, it'll have to be the hard way.
Ooh, the hard way. That's the hard way. That's what I like. And that wraps everything up for another week of Talkamania. Hopefully people listen to this episode because I enjoyed it. It was a fun recording. We went 5 minutes over because the Bruins are about to start. But again, guys, we are shadow banned, so our apologies if this doesn't make it out there. If it does, do us a favor, retweet it. Ask people to listen to it because we can't. We're banned for 48 hours. Follow us at _Talkamania on Twitter, on Podbean. Dez is doing reactions after Raw, after Smackdown. We got a whole bunch of fun stuff lined up for the Greatest Royal Rumble. I think Dez is taking the day off on Friday. Is that correct?
Don't tell my work.
Oh,
but yes, I will be on social media, periscoping, live tweeting with all of you guys. It's going to be fun, so better be there.
Yeah. What else do we have? That's about it. No shout-outs this week. Retweet that pinned tweet. Leave us a rating and review, and you get a chance to win one of our t-shirts. And we're not cheap about it. You get to choose your size. You get to choose your format. So it's all up to you. So show us some love. Retweet that pinned tweet. Rate and review. If you're on Facebook, you just gotta like our page and a few other things. So that wraps it up. I'm gonna go watch a Bruins game. Dez, it was fun. J-Bomb's out.
Go Leafs, go.
I love black eyes.
Oh, that was supposed to be Bret Hart.
Brett screwed Brett.